Hail. Okay, so with all the experiences I've had the last couple years alone, and then the confirmations that I've received, and the things that I've looked into, that happen to fit these circumstances. And then with all this new stuff coming out about not just but about like Diddy and things like that. The other day I was like, because there was something mentioned about JL in that court case and all of that, and whether or not she lied for him and all this stuff. And so I was thinking to myself, Illuminati, right? So does that mean that all of the people in the Illuminati know each other, and or at the very least like know that there's people that do this thing and people that do this thing and people that do this thing. Now, mainly I was thinking about the SA and trafficking in that regard. Okay, and all of that sort of thing. Okay. Now, okay. I am very big on, I repost confirmations and things like that I receive after I already like know the thing and I receive confirmation. I always repost it. Okay. So the next morning when I wake up, the first thing when I jump on here, the first video on my FYP is about trafficking, but other means of trafficking more in a karma swap kind of way, which I've already researched and have videos on. But things like identity theft and fraud, cyber crimes, blocked resources. And I will repost this video. I saved it because I wanted to like go back through it first. So I'll repost it after I post this video. But being placed in situations and robbed of your assets, harming you and your family, to benefit or seek to benefit off of another person, collecting and selling assets fortified through you, facilitating crimes, gaslighting, and then goes on to talk about the karmic wind and Christ consciousness, and then further on and on. Okay. Okay, so for me, that's confirmation, right? That at the very least, I am on the right path, and that there are very, very large webs of connectedness. Maybe all these people are not directly Illuminati, but connected to that plight. Okay. Okay, so before I make this video, I'm like doing my skincare routine, right? And all of that. And then all of a sudden I get this like floodgate of things, right? And so I feel like a lot of the collective is starting to establish a very significant timeline. Okay, in fact, not only are you being targeted, but you've been targeted for quite a long time. And so I'm actually really curious as to a couple of things. In the collective of the people who attended gifted child classes, how many of them received some kind of Masonic award in junior high school or like ninth grade, like between junior high school or high school, or even specifically the student of today or student of tomorrow or something like that. Okay, so most of us grew up with some kind of narcissistic step parent or parent or family dynamic. Okay, we were triangulated at a young age, and many of us may still be affected by this in some ways. So, like, people know people who know people, so old lies or half truths or stories are still being told. But hey, you're a legend. Okay, so for some of the collective, at the very least, between these gifted child classes and this award, if we all got one, okay, there was this period, like I posted videos about, where we were, somehow either a victim of some kind of crime or witnessed it or something like that. Okay, then there's this period of in your early 20s. Okay, there was some kind of, and you may have gotten in trouble, and it may have been like right around that same time. Okay, some kind of elaborate, fraudulent, bullshit that you actually caught wind of but never went anywhere. Okay, but you always assumed that kind of it was just the environment that you were in at that time, right? The name Robin, Robin, may be significant from that timeline as well. Also, like the DEA, some kind of house fire or something, some kind of phone call, helicopter, goings on. Okay, like weird shit. Okay, and so then, like in the summer ish of 2022, right? Maybe you were like online dating, right? And you came across this circumstance, right? That it really felt like entrapment, right? And it's gonna be like something targeted towards your sexuality, right? Like significantly, or especially if you are a female and you are a lesbian or bisexual. Okay, and you may have actually mentioned at the very least these things to other people. In some cases there's actually documentation or witnesses. Okay, and then like later that year is when you fell into this like Illuminati web karma swap stuff. You may have actually gotten in trouble in some way, shape, or form in this situation as well, as a result of some kind of manipulation or setup. Okay, so I'm just curious how much of the collective, like that stuff specifically, aligns with. Okay, because it all seems very connected to the targeting and blocking of resources that is still currently going on. And I'm really trying to figure out exactly how early, like it started for some of us, though I know that some for like at birth. Okay, because if your parent is narcissistic, right? But specifically this Masonic Lodge award, okay, I'm super curious about it, as well as maybe the entrapment things that it feels like you either evaded or did not turn out as bad as they were supposed to be. Okay, thanks.